wanna do is party and bullshit and make sure that we have a good time. Yeah, it's a Litty Talk. Welcome to the motherfucking Litty Talk. We talk shit and get drunk on the Litty Talk. We talk about hot topics on the Litty Talk. Yeah, the Litty Talk. We ain't scared to talk about it on the Litty Talk. We have fun and talk news on the Litty Talk. Where else, nigga, can you get a Litty Talk?
All right, so you know the fucking vibes. Tonight on Litty Talk, I got my guy Alain Wavy in the building. Straight out of work, straight out of Boston, straight out of everything. He's been all over the place lately. How are you, brother?
I'm good, man. I'm over here. Just got teaching. I teach martial arts, so I was just teaching these little kids how to defend themselves and, giving back to the community in a little type of way,
Hell yeah. Straight to the interview. Puerto Rican descent, exit 13, born and raised.
I was actually born at a doctor's hospital, which I think that's somewhere in Hialeah. I'm not even sure, honestly. But I grew up since 4 years old. My grandma has had a house in Eureka Drive.
Okay.
So I've been there. I'm 29 now. I've been there 25 years in the same. Yeah, man, it's been a minute.
Most memorable childhood moment in that area since you've been there that long. Let me see. What's the most
memorable
that you can remember? Yeah.
I would say the most memorable childhood memory is when we used to play manhunt in the neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? We used to hide in garbage. Sometimes we couldn't find each other for hours. Like, yo, where is this guy? You feel me? The neighbors are all looking around like, yo, who are these jits moving all around the neighborhood doing all this crazy stuff? We were like causing havoc in the neighborhood, bro. Honestly.
Bro, I was just crazy, bro, to be disappeared. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah, man, for sure. We used to play late night, like too. They'd be like, "Yo, who is this jit in my lawn right now?"
So, question: what's the biggest lesson you learned from your town?
I say the biggest lesson I learned would be basically like you gotta keep it real, man. You gotta stay solid. You gotta keep it 100, and that's what's gonna make everybody around you respect you more and admire you as a person that they could look up to and somebody that they could look to as a leader. Even if they don't want to admit it, there'll always be somebody in your group or from your hood or from your neighborhood that you could be like, damn, bro, like he's doing something or she's doing something that I would wish I could do or I could be a part of or I'm living through that person, you know? So I feel like growing up with the people I did, I learned like, how to do my own thing, but at the same time, kind of demonstrate to my dogs around me how to be 100%, how to be real genuine, how to hold it down, how to keep it G, and never just go with what's the cool thing to do or what's the good vibe to follow. It's like, you gotta stay true to yourself, and that's what's gonna make you stand out and know who you are as a person.
Right.
So I feel like growing up and where I grew up at, that's mostly what I got from it, and we build a very strong relationship together, and we all hold each other down and hold each other accountable for our actions and what we do as a daily living.
One of the principles that I stand by as a man is I always state to people, be who you are unapologetically, but respectfully everywhere you go with everybody you meet. As long as you are who you are everywhere you go, but with respect and honor, I think you should be all right.
Hell yeah, I agree. I definitely agree. I feel like a lot of people forget, like, at the end of the day, bro, you got to just be you, because that's the only thing that's going to let you be happy. Right. If you're over here trying to fit in with every group, or every time I see you, you got a new set of friends, or I see you in the club with a different person in a different group, it's like, yo, it just shows me a lot about your character and how you carry yourself. Now, if it's on some networking and some business, then that's different.
No, it's different. Yeah.
But if I see you just turning up and this week I see you in Fulano and next week I see you with this guy, and it's like, yo, bro, what happened? Why do you keep falling out with the different people in your circle? Like, why is it that you're not staying consistent with the people around you? Is it you? Is it the people around you? Is it the energy that you're vibrating with? Like, what is causing that? And I feel like once you understand who you are as a person, you're not. It's not hard for you to like understand where you need to be, who you need to be around, and what you need to do to keep yourself in that same vibration. Because we get lost, man. There's a lot of things that happen in life daily, like we can't control. So it's hard to stay focused on that energy. But at the end of the day, if you really just keep it 100 with yourself, then you're gonna know where you need to be at, and you're gonna know who you need to be around, and you're gonna know how to carry yourself and move.
Facts. Um, you're blessed to be knowledgeable and experienced in two out of the four elements of hip hop, which are DJing, MCing, graphing, and breaking. You're a master of breaking and MCing. Do you know how amazing that is?
Bro, I'm not gonna lie, bro. I can't live without it. And breaking actually was something that I had to let go for a while, bro. Like I started doing breaking when I was 4 years old, the same time I started martial arts, and I kind of like never really appreciated it. I didn't understand how much of an impact it will have on my life at this moment in time, like up till now. You get me? Like I
Right.
didn't know how much it really meant to me because I didn't appreciate it and I took it for granted. So I would just do it whenever I mean I would do it. I loved it, but I didn't take it to the next level until I turned about like 23 years old. That's when I was like, you know what? I'm done playing games with the break-in. I'm done like being all right at it. I'm done like not pushing myself to the next level. And basically like it was my first love. You know, breakdancing was my first love, and then also rapping came about when I was like, I've always tried to rap when I was a kid, but
Mm-hmm.
I could never really understand how to put two rhymes together. But when I was like about 17, I was like, no, let me really try to focus and do this for real. So I was focusing, and I started really like going to the studio and writing and spending hours all day with my man's Raw Melody.
Mm-hmm.
He's one of the persons I started music with, so he kind of like pushed me to the next level of taking it serious. I saw he had his own studio. I saw he was like consistently practicing, and I'm like, nah. Like if I really love this, I gotta do what he's doing. I can't only depend on him to go to the studio. And he will pick me up, bro. He will drive to my house, pick me up, bring me all the way back to Homestead, record music with me, and drop me back off. Like I didn't have a car at that time,
Right.
so he was like a real big part of my push to take music seriously. And I always give him a big shout out for that because that's my brother, and he's also part from Exit 13. And you know, like if it wasn't for certain things like that, then I would have never been able to take it that far in the music and also take it far in the breaking as well.
All right. So then you answered my question first, which was what came first, the breaking or the rapping. So who or what do you remember as the introduction to breaking?
So when I was growing up, there's a crew called the Street Masters crew. It's a
Mm,
famous crew from Miami, Florida,
mm,
and also another crew called Ground Zero Crew, which are like two of the most reputable crews in the world when it comes to breakdancing. My uncle, his name is Rebirth, is what they call him, or Tells One. He is a pioneer in breakdancing. He's from Miami, like very known breakdancer. He he took breaking to the next level. He was one of the first people to ever travel out of the United States for breakdancing and go to
wow.
Europe and represent out of Miami, Florida, actually out of the whole United States. One of the first people out of the whole United States that was able to travel to Europe and compete at a high level as a pro dancer. So when I was growing up, I would see my uncle do this dance, and I always found inspiration in doing it because of him. Like he showed me like, yo, like breaking is not just the moves. It's about style. It's about the way you walk, the way you talk, the way your clothing comes into play.
Right.
And that's something that a lot of people like have not they don't know. They don't know that b-boying is one of the pioneers of fashion for hip hop.
Yep.
Like dressing fresh, standing like this, posing, doing certain movements with your hands and looking a certain way. Like Puerto Ricans with the blacks in New York, really inspired the whole world on another level. And then Run DMC came out with the Adidas tracksuits. But if you ask any of these famous artists, even Common was doing a breaking event where he was part of the event, and he even said himself, he's like, "Yo, bro, I haven't felt this way in so long. Like, it's crazy how breakdancing or breaking has made me feel like I came back to hip hop. Like, I haven't felt hip hop like this in such a genuine aspect in so long." So yeah, man, if it wasn't for my uncle, like, really, like, showing me that first backspin or first windmill or first headspin, I would have never been introduced to this hip hop lifestyle and take it to where I've taken it to. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy, literally, how much of an impact it's had in my life.
Well, you could say like it made you feel like you've never been that much into hip hop, but I can say that you need water to live. People could drink juice, people could drink soda, but till you drink that water, you'll feel alive.
Mhm.
Water is the element of life. Breaking is one of the hip hop elements. So taking that element serious and putting it back in your life is what made you feel rejuvenated. Like, hell yeah. I mean, people don't, like you said, people don't know. Well, not people, but a lot of people don't understand the history of hip hop with those four elements and just the breakers herself, like you said, setting trends. Like, it wasn't just you were coming to dance. You had to come fresh. You had to have, the top of the top, this, the Kangos, the this, the that,
Exactly.
and be prepped. It wasn't just I could dance extremely good and I'm gonna win this battle. Nah, you better have a swag. You better. That's why I tell people, like, it's not just if you don't have swag, you're not gonna make it in hip hop.
Exactly.
You can't be boring.
Yeah, and my bad to cut you off. And when you speak of swag, like, in my view of swag, what I want people to understand is like, yo, listen, bro, you could rock the Amiri jeans, you could wear the Dior, you could have the Jordans on, but if it's not in your character of who you are, you're not gonna
Lame,
fulfill what you're looking for. When
right?
you when you when you when you when I think of swag, I think of like, yo, how can you represent yourself the best, fresh, without having to be somebody else that you're not? You're being you. You're being you. You're wearing because the swag could be in anything. You could, like, there could be rockers that, yo, the way that he puts together his rock outfit
That's swag.
and the way that he wears it, I could tell, yo, he got a certain swag to him. Like, or it could be like any style that you do, as long as you do it like how you feel comfortable and you're representing it with a positive energy and you're doing it the right way, then you're gonna have swag. It
I
has
said
nothing to
this
do
for
with what you put on your
years,
body.
bro. I interviewed Jim Jones, and me and him both agreed. And I always say, you can't buy swag. That's
Exactly.
something you can't buy. You can't go and buy the mannequin and think you're gonna walk out there and be fresh. You
Exactly.
just, you're just a mannequin. You're not, that's not swag. Um,
Yes, sir.
how difficult is it for you to manage both crafts?
So basically, what I try to do is, it's actually very difficult. I'm not gonna lie. Like, it's kind of like a curse in a way.
Mhm.
When you're very talented at multiple things, it's kind of like you feel like you got all this pressure on you because you know how good you could really be if you only focused on one. But when you love them all, it's kind of like, damn, how could I not do the other one? I love it too. So it's like how I try to do it is like I use my workout as break dance practice.
Okay,
So instead of just doing a workout, I'll do breaking. So breaking is my workout, and then I'll come home, I'll record some music. I try to do everything every day. So I try to do my music. I try to work out in the morning, or if not, I work out at night. But I always try to work out with my breaking, and then also do the music as well. Just only because I love it. Not and I and I
right.
and I realize I know, like, if you focus on one thing only, you're probably gonna be more successful. But I kind of always had that in my mind, like, yo, I wanna break that barrier, and I wanna be able to do uh both, and I want to be successful at both, and I want people to know, like, you know what, maybe we could change that variable, and you could put time into both and still be very successful at both.
Agreed. I 100% agree with you. And why can't you be the variable that broke whatever people think one thing is? You feel me?
Exactly.
Um, what was your first professional in studio recorded song?
My first recorded song that was professional, I would say it was a track I did with me and my homie Stay True, which is Raw Melody's brother. He's also a known artist out of Eureka, and is pretty known in Homestead.
Mhm.
Shout out Stay True 1K. It was actually us three together that we did our first track together, and it's actually not on SoundCloud anymore, but it was actually like our first real track that kind of set the tone. We're like, yo, now we're doing this. Like this is
Right.
a track that's out. Everybody knows that we rap now. Like this is it. Like now we got to take it to the next level, you know. And I would say my first single track was a track called "I Wavy," and that was probably like my first single track. And then my first feature track was a song called "Piped Up," which is one of the songs that actually put Exit 13 on the map.
Hell yeah.
Exit 13 has been known, but it wasn't known like how it was before we dropped that track.
And shout out to Raw Melody. I don't know who he is, but we do follow each other. I don't know how it happened. Maybe he seen one of my interviews or something like that.
Facts.
But I did my homework on him. Dope
Yeah,
shit.
he's a dope artist, man.
Um,
Flashing too.
what's the biggest difference in your music from Wavy Booming to Greater Days?
So I feel like when I was younger, I was I was very more. I feel like I was a little bit more experimental
Mhm.
when it came to trying new sounds and trying to just create these melodic vibes.
Right.
And as I got older with the Greater Days, I feel like now I gotta take my music to another level. I have to make it relatable, where everybody can feel that that they can all relate. Like kind of like not want to compare myself to a Drake or a Rick Ross, but those are some of the artists that are very big when it comes to making music that people can relate to.
Right.
Like music that makes them feel like, yo, like, oh snap, they talking about a girl with her angles and her Instagram. Like a girl's gonna hear that and be like, oh yeah, I do that. I be getting angles and doing my Instagram. Or Rick Ross, like, yo, I'm a boss. Like, I want to be. Who doesn't want to be a boss?
Right.
Like, who doesn't want to own their own companies and stuff like that? So
The biggest
I feel
difference
like
you say would be making yourself relatable more.
more relatable. And because I'm still very experimental with different sounds.
Right.
But I feel like when you get older, you're a little bit more conscious of your music. You're like, okay, I'm not gonna curse in my music anymore. All right, I'm gonna make music that that is more relatable, or I'm gonna make music that can
More
be played on the
mature.
radio.
Right.
Stuff like that, because you're trying to take yourself to the next level. If you keep making underground tracks, yeah, you might be known, but it's gonna be a lot harder to play your music in certain surroundings and around certain people, because when they look at your music, they're like, yo, your shit is not like Drake's. You don't sound like Future. So it's kind of like something that kind of sucks, because sometimes people compare you to these big artists, and you don't have the same quality of music as them, because maybe it could be income, or your music videos are not as productive, like the production is not as
Top
great as a Drake video.
tier. Right.
Yeah, so it's kind of, you're getting judged upon that. But then the good thing is, though, is that people see your growth from where you started to where you are now. And there's a lot of artists that have started as they started doing music, and then they stopped. And then there's people like me that have kept doing music the whole time and never stopped. So
And kept going.
it's like that's what shows you who's a real artist and who is just somebody that was doing it at the time because everybody else was doing it.
As a fact, correct. So talking about your music, let's get into your music. So I'm gonna let you know right now, I am not a rapper. I do butcher lyrics. Please have patience when I read these lyrics out.
Okay.
So first track, I skipped class just to graduate out of the stoop. I Wavy, one of your early pieces. As an artist, I feel as if you seem to be able to fit in each type of music that you put yourself into. Does that come natural, or do you actually study music before you do actual tracks? And shout out to that track. That's a dope track.
Thank you, my brother. I feel like it's in me, bro. I feel like, honestly, like it comes from my soul. When I make music, I know that I'm not saying stuff that I don't mean. Like when I say something, like I really mean it. Like, for example, that line right there, I skipped class just to graduate out the stool. What I mean by that is, like, yo, like there's days that I didn't want to go to school. I'm staying home. I'm not trying to go to, like I used to, like when I was in college, I used to not go to class and go home and work on music. Like because I'm trying to graduate out of school. I'm trying to master it. I'm
Right.
trying to put all the most hours I could put into this craft, so that way I feel like I can master it. Before, it used to take me like an hour and a half to write a song. Now I could write a song, record it and all, and do it in 10 minutes. It might not be the best quality, but my writing skills have gone up tremendously. Like I was
Correct.
never able to write that fast. I could barely even put two words together. I was struggling. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And that's the
So
beauty. That's the beauty of, like you said, being the artist and continue on going, because that growth. I mean, I seen the growth just listening to your music, doing my homework. So I can tell you, like, I as a music connoisseur, as a person that does interviews with people, I 100% see the growth from beginning to where you're at right now.
thanks.
Um,
Thank you.
Next track. Don't gotta check if I'm there. I always got your back. 9 months carried your son. I know it hurt your back.
Damn, boy, that boy went through the files.
I do my work, bro. I'm not
That's
these
what's up.
lazy podcasters.
I appreciate that. So basically, I'm talking about my mama. You know, that was like a birthday track for her that I made.
Letter to Genie.
Yeah, letter to Jeannie. That's my mother. Her name is Jeanette. So basically, it was like a letter to her 15-year-old self. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
My mom had me at 15. She got pregnant at 14 by my dad. My dad was like 17. And basically, I grew up very young. You know what I'm saying? Like I grew up. That's not what I said. I said I grew up fast when I was
Mm-hmm.
young. Like I was seeing my mom go through these things that she was going through growing up as a woman still. She was only 15, trying to figure out how to be a correct woman figure for me, knowing that like my dad, he was around, but he was also doing his own thing as well.
Right.
There was a time where he had went to another country and he was doing his thing over there, and I was over here with my mom when I was only 2. So it was like she was figuring out how to be a woman, but at the same time, she was very young. You know what I'm saying? She didn't know how to take care of a boy and how to fucking, excuse my language, teach
She
her.
didn't know how to
Teach her.
take care of herself, let
Yeah,
alone a boy.
exactly. And I'm like, I'm in school, I'm getting in fights. Then like I'm trying to like explore and figure out myself while she's figuring out herself, and it's like we will constantly clash. So as I got older, I just wanted to give her a little bit of like a pat on the back, like letting her know, like, mom, like I appreciate everything you ever done for me. I couldn't even fathom how hard it must have been growing up how you were growing up. We're a struggling Puerto Rican family. You know what I'm saying? Always behind on bills. The family, we lived with my grandma, and
Struggling.
like she really held it down. My grandmother for my mother and for me, and helped and like kind of gave an opportunity for my mom to grow, because it's just, in Miami, bro. Everything's fast, bro. You got to be ready for whatever situation, and it's not easy. It's definitely not easy for anybody. I salute to all the moms that have had kids young, and all the single mothers, doing their thing and holding it down for the family.
Yeah, and I could definitely relate. My mom had me at 15. I'm 36, and my mom's 52
There you
right
go.
now.
We on
Um,
the, we on the same boat.
Puerto Ricans from the Bronx, woman raising a man, dad on around, all that. So I could definitely relate. That's why I one of the reasons why I pulled this track. Another one was considering Mother's Day this week, and how did she like the track when she heard it?
She loved it, man. She actually broke down and started crying a little bit,
Hmm.
because she knows that like every son wants to be the best son they could be for their mother. You know what I'm saying? So one of the reasons why I kind of like took it upon myself to be the best version of myself I could be is because they used to tell her, yo, like, don't have the baby, get an abortion, or yo, like, your son's never gonna be nothing, like, you guys are like, like he's not gonna grow up the right way, and
Hmm.
his life is gonna be bad, and you know what I'm saying. So I wanted to just like prove everybody that ever had anything negative to say about her having me young, and I wanted to show her that, yo, you could be proud of your son. Like, look at the things he's done, and look at where he's taken his life, and the things he's achieved.
Oh yeah.
And it's all thankful to her. And she's a strong woman, bro. I remember there's a time that she was going to school full time, working 2 jobs, and taking care of a house full of 5 kids. You know what I'm saying? And my stepdad wasn't working on the time, like holding down the fort, bro. Like a
Shout out to mom.
real hustler, bro. I look up to my mama like nobody else, bro, and my grandma. They're really strong women, man. I have nothing but positive things to say about those two ladies.
And it's always best to always show them love, and it's always best to celebrate them and put them on this pedestal. But why not do extra considering we're Mother's Day week? So I gotta ask you though, we all have done wrong as children, and especially as young boys. What was that one time you did something bad and you felt really bad that you thought, damn, I let my mom down, and how did you make it right?
So, getting into
If you
that,
could talk about
yeah. So
it.
basically, look, check it out, man. I think it was about like 12 years old, 13. I went to go live with my dad. I came back. I finally got my black belt in martial arts because my dad's actually a master in martial arts in Taekwondo. So
Okay.
I finally like went with him. He trained me. I came back like a different warrior. I was like, no, I was not losing the fight after that. And from there, with that kind of confidence and kind of like feeling like, yo, I'm tired of people disrespecting me. You feel me? Because I went to school in Homestead. So Homestead, you go to Redland and you got the blacks and you got the Haitians and you got the Mexicans and then there's the Puerto Ricans and then there's everybody else. It's like there's not really a group for the Puerto Ricans or the Venezuelans or the Colombians because we're not majority here. It was mostly like, yo, it's either you're with the black group, you're with the Mexican group, you're with the Haitians, or you're with the whites in
Mm-hmm.
Homestead. So I kind of was like, yo, I'm tired of this shit. Like, I'm not letting nobody fuck with me no more. I'm gonna do whatever I gotta do to let people know, like, yo, I'm not dealing with this. So I'm getting in constant fights, getting suspended from school. Leading up, I got part of like this little clique, and we terrorized Miami, doing all crazy shit from like 15 to about 22 years old. When I was 22 years old, I had never gotten in trouble for anything. Been in back of police cars multiple times,
Right.
like over 15, maybe 20 times in my whole entire life up until this one moment. And I got in trouble for something so petty. It was like a fight in front of a gas station.
Right.
And it was like the biggest case I ever got in my life at 22 years old. After everything I did, never got caught for nothing else. The pettiest thing I got caught for, and it was a PBL, punishable by life, just because
Wow.
uh, I don't want to really get into it
Right.
too
Right. Right.
much,
No,
but basically,
fine.
something happened. It was a PBL, punishable by life, and it was my first ever real charge. And I'm like, yo, I got arrested for like petty like marijuana and stuff like that, but nothing to the point where it's like, yo, I got to worry about I'm gonna get locked up for real. Like I'm gonna have to do mad time.
Right.
So I got locked up. When I got out, my mom was bawling, crying, like, you don't understand what you put me through right now. Like, you're facing a crazy charge. And I'm over here, like not taking it serious because I'm thinking, oh, it's like, I didn't really even do nothing like that.
Correct.
But it's like gang unit prosecution, gang unit this, charges, they got us in a gang book, like a whole situation. And that was the moment I realized. I was like, yo, bro, I got to pay 15 bands. I got to hire the best lawyer in Miami, which if anybody needs a lawyer for a crazy case, God forbid, Michael Mirror. Okay, he's in Coral Gable. He's in downtown Miami. Dude, that guy will save you from anything, bro. That guy is a legend in Miami, in my eyes. Like, he's really has taken care of a lot of issues that
Right.
I've heard about and what I've been through. So basically, that was kind of like that wake-up call, bro. Once I got in trouble and I was able, and that he beat the case for me. I didn't even have to go to court. So he beat the case for me. And I was like, yo, bro, what am I doing? Like, I'm talented, bro. I break dance. I make music. Like, I'm a martial artist. Like, yo, I have so much outlets to not be doing this
Right.
shit. And then that was from that moment, I got a job at PF Chang's and I was like serving, busing, and then I became like a server and I was working that. And then out of nowhere, I get a call one day, yo, because they were worried about me. My family was worried about me that I would get back involved in that lifestyle again. So like, yo, we got to get him. Like, we want to get him out of here. So my uncle Rebirth actually hit up this dude named Flea Rock, and Flea Rock, his real name is Oren Michaeli, and he was in the movie Step Up 2 as
Okay.
he was a famous actor from Miami. So he was in the movie Step Up 2 as a main character. So that's how like he's very famous in the industry of breakdancing as well as all the things he's done. So he's
Right.
also a famous dancer in the breakdancing industry. And he was like, yo, is any way you could bring my cousin to LA? My nephew to LA to come street perform with you? We want to get him out of Miami. Like, because they initially asked my uncle to come street perform. He was like, nah, I can't really do that right now. But what about my nephew? He's getting in trouble. We kind of want to get him out of Miami. Like, how can we make that happen? He's like, yo, you want him to come? to send him over here with some guy named Juice. So me and Juice, we flew to LA. I got there. I was only there for 2 days. My third day, I became a vegan. I
Wow.
already did one change. I was like, yo, I gotta get skinny. I want to get in shape because I really want to break dance on the next level. So I became a vegan. My second day there, then third day there, and then I started practicing every day. I was running in the morning. I was doing shows all day and then practicing at night. Consistently, 3 months of doing that, my whole life changed. My whole life changed. I started from there. I went to New Orleans. I was super in shape, super ripped, super motivated. I learned how to flip. I learned how to do stuff I'd never even done ever in my life. Learned how to eat really, really healthy and really conscious of my body and you know, taking care of myself on a level I wasn't doing before. I wasn't even drinking anymore. You know, I wasn't doing a lot of things I wasn't doing. Like I was avoiding negative energy of all those problems, and it just opened my eyes. Like, yo, bro, it was like it took that me getting locked up and separating myself, going to LA and spending 3 months over there in a hotel in Venice Beach with the same group of people in the same room for 3 months to like make this change, you know, and finally take the first step to my new journey in life. You know, so it was like a getting locked up was like a blessing in disguise, basically. You know, it made me realize who I really could be.
God bless. But that's like a organic militant boot camp experience you went through. It's like you didn't join the military, but you kind of did like a militant boot camp with like a full organic cleansing, mentally, physically, spiritually, and that's dope. That's dope, bro. I salute you for that.
Thank you,
Like
brother.
that's amazing. Um, Last track is gonna be I'm just moving in my truest, and my family be the reason why I do it. So obviously, moving in your truest. Now, after hearing your story, I can see that you're definitely moving in your truest. Shout out, and this track is Greater Days. Shout out to I want to first say shout out to Dosia, amazing, just amazing everything. Um, you're this song after listening to your story, although listening to your whole music catalog, it made me feel that this track matches the name and the name and the lyrics match the track, which is Greater Days that you're now seeing Greater Days. Um, but it's also obviously I heard the story, but I didn't know your story of all these things that you explained to me. But the track also sounds as if you're at your happiest point of your life, and you sound like you have so much clarity and joy and freedom. And did I break that down in the correct way?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So basically, it's like, hold on. Basically, it's like that track right there is kind of like you know, like you have to have a little bit of faith. You know what I'm saying? Like in life, you need to trust. You need to trust and I don't know if a lot of people believe in God, but I do. You need to trust in God, and you need to trust in the vibrations of the earth. And I feel like when you are moving in alignment with good vibrations and good energy and good intentions, you're blessed, man. You're super blessed because it's like why am I gonna be living a life that's doing somebody wrong? Why am I gonna lie about things? Why am I gonna cheat on my girl? Why am I gonna do things that's not, you know, positive? Like if I
Right.
could help somebody, why don't I help them? You know, why don't I give back? One of the biggest things that I follow in life is like, yo, the more you give, the more you're gonna get. And it's not even about getting. It's about giving when you have nothing. Because the more you give, people feed off of that energy. People can see the light in you. You're like that hope that people, you know, you don't know what kind of spark you could be for that person in that day, in that moment, in that time. You're like, yo, damn, bro, like I know he didn't have to do this, but he did it anyways. And it just it can show people your true character of who you really are, and how and 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 how you could give love and a sense of worth to your life. You know what I'm saying? Like people gotta do more of that. You know, a lot of people are very, you know, I get it. you're selfish because like it's about me. It's about like I'm going through this and I'm going through that, and my mom's sick and my mom's this. So why am I gonna help your mom if she's sick? You know what I'm saying? Like, and I get that. I get that 100%. And it's not easy to be a giving person because a lot of people only give, they don't take. I mean, a lot of people take, they don't give back. You know, but you can't think of it in that aspect. You got to think about it as like, you know what? I'm being the best version of myself I could be. I know I'm doing things from the heart. I know that I'm doing it out of love. And when you do that, the doors start opening up for you in a way that you would have never expected. You start getting blessings out of nowhere. Like the other day, I put it on my story. I'm like, yo, I'm looking for a sponsor, for this and that. I got $100. Next thing you know, my other boy that I've been motivating to start breakdancing more because he had took a while off. He was actually my rival. Shout out to
Right.
Dizzle. And he had stopped breaking for mad years. And I'm like, yo, nah, keep come to practice, bro. Where you at? Yo, invite me to your house. Let's practice. And I don't know if that was the reason why, but he's like, yo, I want to send you money and I want to support you now. And I'm like, damn, bro, you don't even got to do that. He's like, nah, bro. I want to, bro. I want you. I want to give back. And I'm like, damn, you see, like, I guess me pushing him and giving him that energy, he wanted to give it back to me without me even having to ask him. I never even asked him anything. He just did it on his own. And it's not about that. It's about just that love that I'm giving him, that energy I'm giving him. He's feeding off it. Now he's growing, and I bet you he's giving it to other people. You know what I'm saying? It's like an ongoing chain reaction.
Yep.
You know,
It's a
and
snowball
you
effect.
can't, you can't, you can't, you can't predict the future, but you could do what you could do now in the present. You know,
It's a
and
fact.
as long as you do
I
that, bro, you're gonna always be blessed. You'll always be taken care of, bro. Never doubt the higher positive energies of the higher vibrations of the world, bro. Never doubt it, bro. Keep going. No matter when anything is going negative or positive, you just gotta stay in that energy. You know?
I want to second on that because I believe this is similar, and you said that it's not that you give to receive, but I always say that if you're always giving, you're always gonna not need. So I think the more energy, the more help, the more just anything that you put on this world, you're not gonna need. You're not gonna go through hard times. You're not gonna go out and look because you're gonna say, or you're not gonna, like it doesn't even have to be money. So even if you're giving out positive energy, you don't give that positive energy to get back, but you're always gonna get something or somebody that's gonna be there for you for a negative time. Or if you're consistently giving out, you're not giving money out to get it back. You're giving it out because somebody needs it.
Exactly.
But with that kind of energy that you're putting out there, no matter what, you're kind of sort of never going to need money because it's always going to work out for you no matter what, considering what you're putting out there to the universe. You feel me?
Exactly. There's a it's a book. I think I don't know if it's in Rich Dad Poor Dad or How to Win Friends and Influence People, but it's like the law of money. The law of money, the thing that everybody's so stressed about all the time is you need to give money and if you in order to receive it. You know what I'm saying? If you're not giving money, how you think you're ever going to get any money back? You know what I'm saying? You
Right.
have to give. In the law of the universe is the more you give, the more you're going to receive. I mean, yeah, the more you give, the more you're going to receive. So you have to be a giver. In life, you have to be a giver. There's no way around that. You cannot be a selfish person and expect to have a great life because it's just not. It's
It
not.
ain't going to
There's
work.
no.
I
Say it again.
said it just ain't going to work.
Yeah, it's not gonna work, and it's just like that, bro. I've noticed like every person that I see that's like doing like let's say for example, I know people that have doing scamming or robbing or yo, I just ran off on the plug, bro, for the 3-5. It's like, bro, next thing you know, something happened to him. He's like, yo, somebody broke my window. Oh, hello, why you think that's happening, my G? Because you're over here
Cause and
doing
effect.
wrong. What do you think is gonna happen? You're gonna do wrong and not get it back? Nah,
Cause
karma's
and
not gonna
effect.
get you today, but it's gonna
Facts.
come back. You know what I'm saying?
And that's just simple basic math, which is I don't know why a lot of people don't understand. It's the cause and effect. Whatever you do will have an effect to it. So you're doing negative, be prepared because
Yep.
negative shall come back somewhere in how.
Every positive
um,
there's a negative, and every negative there's a positive, and it's just there's always a yin and yang, bro, to everything. It's like whatever is you doing on this side is always going to come back in either a positive, negative form, no matter what. I mean, we try to do positive and get positive, but sometimes there needs to be a negative. There has to be a negative for a positive to exist. And that's the kind of tricky part about the universe, but it's the truth. There can't be a positive without a negative, you know?
So, black belt in Taekwondo, I think that's fucking dope. Training with my bro Michael Blanco. How did that happen? Shout out to Michael, man. I did a dope interview and I talk to him still to this day. Text him the other day. We were speaking about some stuff. But how did that come up?
Yeah, man. Shout out to my dog Michael Blanco, man. Corleone, you know what I'm saying? That boy, so basically I was at the gym and I was working the bag, you know what I'm saying? And there's a Puerto Rican boxer, or a coach, I would say, that he's was doing the mitts for another fighter named Manny Carrera, which is also his name is Bread to Box on IG. He's a very well-known boxer here in Florida, and he's also a professional boxer. Like he fought on the Canelo undercard as one of his biggest fights. And he also has another big fight coming up. But basically, he was the one that was working the mitts with him, and he was like, "Yo, I want you to train with Manny because you're fast and you're kind of like the same size. You kind of." He's like, "Yo, you even look like him. Every time I see you, you remind me of him." And I'm like, "Damn." So whatever. That's how he connected me with him. And then one day I was in the gym, and he was like, "Yo, can you hold the pass for Michael?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure. Why not?" And then the day I held the pass from him, we were talking, and he was we were connecting, and I met his son. His son is also into MMA, and he tells me how he came up in the MMA scene, how he used to train Muay Thai, a lot of Muay Thai fighters that were going to UFC, and he also actually brought his daughter to the martial arts school I work at to do an introduction class, and we actually did it. At the moment, he wasn't able to sign her up, so he didn't sign her up that day, but we also we just connected on a martial arts level, and we also talked about other things too, because he sees me going to the gym training and practicing my breakdancing as well, and basically he could see in my character that I wasn't trying to be uh like anybody. I was just trying to be me. And he felt I feel like he felt that energy from me. You know, we've always stayed connected since then, and he shows me mad love. And every time he sees me, he shows me my respect, you know, and I respect him in the same way in a high energy level. So it was a crazy interaction how I met him. And then like I kind of found out his whole background story, and I was like, yo, that's amazing. Like, yo, I can't believe I'm actually, you know, able to train somebody or help somebody that was coming from that type of level of notoriety, you know what I'm saying? And people who know his story and know the things that he's done, and also the business side of things that he does as well. So it was just a good, he's a very good individual. Shout out to him, shout out to his family, and much respect to him and what he got going on, and I support him all the way.
Definitely. What's a tougher workout? Training for the Taekwondo or training for breaking?
I say they're both pretty tough, but I will have to give the edge to breakdancing. And the only reason why I would give the edge to breakdancing is because basically breaking is moving your when you're a real b-boy, which means break boy, that means you dance on the break of the record. Okay. It means that you have a unique style and a unique energy and a unique way that you do your own movements. So it's not really something that you could that it's like the fundamentals you could teach it. But once you know the fundamentals, then it's like, yo, you're on your own. You got to create these moves on your own. You got to create these combos on your own. And if you want to stand out and you want to be on the next level and you want people to respect you for your individuality, you got to be doing things that people never seen before. So you're doing head spins, but you're doing them in like ways that people are like, yo, how did you do a head spin out of that move? Or yo, how did you jump on your head, spin in there, go back to your hand, spin on your head, go back to the floor, spin on your back, go back to your head, spin again, and catch it in the freeze on the beat. You know what I'm saying?
And then the flip.
And then yeah, exactly. That's like it's levels to it. Like it's not only just doing the move, it's doing the move to the music at a precise moment. And then and it's like, yo, to be able to do those movements is amazing, bro. I would have never have thought in the possibility, like if I would have never seen it myself, I would never have imagined like, yo, like this guy's spinning on his head. You could spin on your head. Like you could spin on your head and stay there like this. without moving. Like you just stay. I know people that could do head spins for like 5 minutes straight and just
That's
stay in that one
crazy.
spot like this. I'm like, yo,
That's
that's
crazy.
amazing, bro. How can anybody have ever fathomed that we were gonna be at this level? Your human body is your body, my guy. You know what I'm saying? Your body's flying in the air and you're spinning on your body. Like you can't use a ball. You can't hit a bag. This is you. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I feel
But
like it's
that's
the hardest one out of any sport. I feel breaking is the most hardest thing to master because it's unmasterable. You can't master it.
no, you
You
can't.
can't master breaking. You
Yeah,
can
yeah.
only do it as much as you have, but it keeps evolving. And the younger generation, if you watch these little kids, bro, these kids are like 5 years old doing what grown men have been trying to do for over 20 years. So it's like, yo, bro, like it just keeps evolving and evolving and evolving, bro. There's something called the air flare where you do like it's like continuous like flying. It looks like you're flying in the air, right?
Mhm.
People were amazed when people were doing it with two hands. Now people are doing it with one hand. Now people are doing it with one hand and catching it. You're doing two times in the air and catching it. Like, bro, it's like it just keeps going, bro. And it's like people are doing spinning on their elbow without stopping like this, with their hand like this and spinning on their elbow and holding it and then stopping on the beat like this, looking at you. You know what I'm saying? Like
Looking
it's
at you
crazy
dumb
how
too. Looking at you dumb too.
yeah, it's like yo, it's crazy how far it's came. And it's like, yo, bro, I'm so like amazed and appreciative of and yo, it's gonna be in the Olympics this year. Breaking's gonna be in the Olympics for the first
So,
time. For the
so,
first time
so,
ever in the
so
United States, they released a commercial for breakdancing ever. You know what I'm saying? Shout
that's
out to
dope.
Vicious Victor, the Red Bull champion slash uh world first ever person to receive a ticket for breakdancing to the Olympics. And he's from Florida. He's from Orlando. You know
Okay.
what I'm saying? So shout out to Florida, putting on the map in the whole world. You know what I'm saying? Like it's amazing, bro. He was the first person in the whole entire world to get a ticket to the Paris Olympics.
You
And
can't
he's from Florida.
you can't sleep on the human body and the mind, bro. It's amazing. Like I I be having people come. I go to the gym now, and I have people coming up to me like, "How do you hell do you do a Superman push up at 260 pounds, 250 pounds, 240 pounds?" They're looking at me crazy. It's like, bro, it's practice. Like
Hell yeah.
it's not impossible. You know what I'm saying? It's practice, and it's just amazing. It is amazing, and I've always like I grew up like being a fan of like Crazy Legs, so like
Oh,
the old, you know what I'm saying,
Rocksteady
like this,
crew.
yeah. So it's just that breakdancing is it's one of those. That's why it is called the element of hip hop because it's so significant in hip hop that people really need to start paying attention. And I didn't know it was coming to the Olympics, so that's fucking amazing.
Yeah, bro. It's
Excuse my
gonna be in the
language.
Olympics this summer. This summer, 2024.
I'll definitely keep an eye out for that. What has been your hardest life challenge so far?
I would say my hardest life challenge will be like, basically balancing financials
Mhm.
with entertainment lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not easy to wake up every day and do something that well actually I take that back. It's not it's not that it's not easy, it's kind of like it just takes a lot of discipline to do something
Mhm.
that you love every day, knowing that there's no guaranteed end result to it. Like you don't know what's gonna happen. You don't know if you're gonna make it as a famous dancer. You don't know if you're gonna make it as a famous artist. You know what I'm saying? Like just consistently doing something with no real guaranteed endpoint, and then having to also work a job to support that. You know what I'm saying? It takes real. It takes real like like it takes a real like disciplined mindset to be able to continue to do something, knowing that like yo I'm broke right now. You know what I'm saying? But I'm still gonna do my music. Yo, I'm broke right now, but I'm still gonna break. Yo, I'm broke right now, but I'm still gonna stay disciplined and eat vegetarian, buy organic. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm gonna do what I gotta do to make it happen. So,
It was rough.
you
That's
know,
rough. That's rough. I did seven. I just did 7 days just for a challenge with my
I
friend,
seen that, bro. I
vegan,
was
and
I was rooting for you, bro. I was liking those meals you was making.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm a cook, so I do. I mean, I'm not a professional cook, but I do cook. Like I'm the cook of the house. I've been cooking
All right.
since before my kids were born. So that wasn't the hard part. Honestly, I gotta say, like, I do diet. My weight comes from drinking. I'm not even gonna cap and say that my weight comes from eating. It's more drinking. So I can make anything taste good, putting stuff together. But it's not cheap to go vegan. But at the same time, what people do also understand is that it's not cheap to eat like shit neither. Because
Yeah, bro.
just you can have that same mentality if you're eating like shit all day. Go to McDonald's, go to Burger King, or you go to whatever it is. You're still spending money. So
Yeah,
it's
so yo,
how
this
you
is
wanna.
mad expensive. I just spent like $10. I mean, I just vegan meals like 10, 12, $13 just for his, and then he'll go later on. I mean, the next day, yo, I just spent $13 at McDonald's. Why are you not saying the same thing for what you just spent on on the regular meal? It's the same thing, bro. You're just choosing what's easier because you ain't
Right,
have to cook it. You didn't.
right,
It's the convenience.
right.
Oh, I Uber Eats it. I ain't trying to drive nowhere. You spent 25 on Uber Eats when you could have bought $25 worth of meals that's gonna make you feel good, the next day instead of having a stomach ache and be like, yo, why my stomach hurt, bro? I gotta go to the bathroom. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Well,
Like,
it's all about and it's all about discipline, like you said. I mean, one of the reasons it was hard for me and you to get together on this interview as well is because I go to the gym at 5 in the morning. So it's
mm,
like I gotta finish, I gotta do this, and then I gotta upload, then I gotta edit, and this and that. So it's like pushing my time, and then like it's not easy because I have a day job too. So then I'm done at the gym at 6:30. Go to my day job. For my day job, pick up the kids, cook, clean, do that. Start the second job, then the editing, this, that, and the other. So it's not an excuse because it could get done, but I'm just always trying to keep that discipline because then the gym is the first thing in because I look at it like portions of the day. So the gym for me is the first thing in the morning. So it's easy to say I ain't gonna go to the gym. I'll just go to work. I'll stay up late and I'll do this. But it's like I'm taking so much from myself by not going to the gym that I feel like, all right, you got to find a way to keep that as the top tier thing. You know what I'm saying?
no, and it's great that you go right in the morning because that sets the tone for the day. Like, okay, let me get this workout in. Bam. What's up? I
Right,
just hit my workout and now I'm ready. I'm gonna go to work, do this. And it's like you already started the day off discipline. You didn't make an excuse like, yo, no, I'm
right.
gonna sleep, I'm tired. You know what I'm saying? So that right there is like a big key thing. A lot of people they procrastinate. Like, yeah, no, I'll do it later, and then later comes they don't do it. It's like I always have. Sometimes I'll be having those moments of like, dang, I'll do that. Now I'm like, you know what? No, I'm gonna just do it right now because I know I'm not gonna do it later. I'm like, I'm gonna just do it now. Why am I
Right.
gonna wait? Let me just do it right now. You know. So that's great, bro. And I'm glad you did that challenge, bro, because a lot of people are like, yo, I can't even do one day. It's like some people eat meat all 3 meals. Like they're like, oh, I ate chicken with this morning with my breakfast, or I mean bacon, whatever, and then for lunch I had a chicken. Then at night I had steak, and it's like, damn, bro, like you're not really giving yourself time to process the meat either, because it takes time
Nah,
to,
yeah,
to
yeah.
break down that
Your
food.
body's not breaking that down. Yeah,
And then
for
they
sure,
wonder
for
why
sure.
when they get 50 years old, they got colon cancer or they got colon problems or they can't use the bathroom right. They're constipated. It's like, yo, bro, you're putting too much in your body. And it's not even really about like the food. It's more about like the quality of
And
food.
the
You know what I'm saying?
quality and the nutrition.
Yeah.
Yeah, what nutrition are you putting in your
Right
body?
now they're putting mad antibiotics in the chicken, mad antibiotics in the steaks. You go to Publix, you see a chicken's this big. You go to Dominican Republic or Puerto Rico, the chicken's like this little. And it's like, okay, I see the difference. I know what they're doing. The fruit, why is the organic fruit more expensive than the regular fruit? You know what I'm saying? Why? What's going on? Why is that like that?
But why the regular fruit is lasting longer than the
Yeah, exactly.
organic
Why,
fruit?
why did I leave this like it's outside
I've had
and
a green yo.
man
You say
spoiled?
that I've had a green apple in my refrigerator. I think already for 3.5 weeks, and that bitch doesn't have no bruises on it. And I was looking at it this morning. I'm like,
Yo,
no, this
something's
this
wrong,
shit
right?
ain't right, bro.
Yeah, bro. I'm telling you, that was one of the main reasons I'm like, nah, bro, I can't be doing this no more. I know I'm killing myself. Like I like a lot of people need to wake up and realize that, like, listen, man, what you eat is how you are gonna feel. Not only
and
with
drink
and
and
drink,
drink
exactly.
and also
Whatever you put into
drink.
your body, that's how you're gonna keep yourself on a higher level, bro. Because if you're over here, you're eating bad, and then you're wondering why you're getting sick, and then you go to the doctor, and the doctor's like, "Yo, take the medicine," and then the medicine is making you feel good, but then next week now your stomach is hurting because of all the medicine you took, and now you got to take another medicine for that pain.
Right.
Is that you get stuck. Now you're in the cycle. Now next thing you know you got cancer. Why you get cancer out of nowhere? What happened? How'd you get cancer? Because of how you've been eating, because of how you've been taking all this medicine that's from the laboratories, because of how you've been living your lifestyle. You're not giving yourself rest. You're not stretching. You're not going to the gym. You're not sitting outside and taking
Circulating your
mental time for
blood, getting the
yourself.
vitamin D, mental,
Yeah.
yeah, mental's another one for sure. Yeah, bro. You could go on. I mean, And like, listen, I'm not gonna sit here and say I'm fucking Dr. CV or nothing like that. I'm trying, bro. Like, I'm literally trying to break 36, 30, no, 32, 30, 34, 30 years of just negligence. So it's taking time, you know. And I'm proud of myself. I don't do it for nobody else but myself. But
Exactly.
you know, I don't want to sit here and act like I'm fucking, you know, like Tarzan from the jungle and I'm eating. One of my biggest things, like I said, and I say drinking because a lot of people, what people don't understand is that it's not just alcohol. Alcohol is my problem, but a lot of people take a lot of sugar and calories in with drinking. And what people don't understand is you can drink more than you can eat. And I break it down to people like this: you can only eat three, four Big Macs before you're like, I can't breathe. But
Fact.
you could drink like 16 cans of soda in one day, and or let's not even say soda. You could drink a whole gallon of juice in one day and think, oh, I'm not full, but you're probably tripling the amount or quadrupling the amount of Big Macs by just drinking that whole gallon of juice.
Exactly.
And it's easier to do it. So like you get more full on food than you do with liquids. So a lot of people buy fruit juices. Like I have somebody say, "Oh, I drink cranberry juice." It's horrible, especially when it's not organic. You're drinking sugar. You're not drinking cranberry
Exactly.
juice. You know what
I be like, yo, I'm
I'm
thirsty. I'm
saying?
mad thirsty. Let me get it. I need a Gatorade. I need a Gatorade. And I'm like,
Right,
bro,
right.
if you knew what was in that Gatorade, Papa, you would not be drinking that. Drink water, my G. Why y'all so
Water,
scared of
right?
water for?
That
Every
shit
meal is
works.
like, I need a Gatorade. I need a juice. Why don't y'all drink water? And I drink spring water at that.
Right,
Not no Dasani, not no Aquafina, not no purified water. Nah, spring water from the earth, the naturalist water
right,
you could get. You know, organic spring water. You know, public spring water is not that bad. You know what I'm saying? Or Zephyr Hills. You know, it tastes a little different, but it's better for
right.
you because you're just
Hey,
drinking natural spring.
I just want them for water. Listen, even if you go drink Dasani, as long as you're
At
not
least you
drinking
drink water.
Pepsi,
Yeah,
bro.
at least, bro. At least a couple waters a day, bro. You feel me?
um, if you had a chance to do a feature with one person dead, one person alive, when it comes to you and music, who would they be? And if you had a chance to break with one person dead, one person alive, who would they be?
If I had if I could do music with one person that's alive, I would say Kodak Black. And a lot of people
Okay,
are gonna be like, "Damn, why Kodak?" Out of all the people you could pick, I feel like Kodak, man, is a special breed of person, man. Like I don't really know too much about like his personal decisions when he does all this
mm-hmm,
wild stuff on IG with the girls and like, yo, what's your baby mama and like
mm-hmm,
all that funny
mm-hmm.
shit he be doing. But his music and his message and like when he's really spitting, like when he's spitting, like Malcolm X or like like could have been different. Like tracks like that is like, damn, bro. Kodak is like a real representation that like like he's a lyricist. He's a
Genuine,
person that knows what's going on. He's
right?
he's someone that sees the world how it really is, and that's why Kendrick Lamar respects him. You know, Kendrick Lamar is one of the best lyricists there is in this generation of hip hop, and he put Kodak Black, and everyone's like, oh, why Kendrick with Kodak Black? It's because Kodak is spitting that brat, bro. He's spitting that real. He recognizes him as a lyricist and an artist and somebody that is actually talking about real shit as well as doing the negative. You know what I'm saying? Because also you got to sell records. But Kodak from young, from being old, if you really pay attention to what he's saying, he's kind of like putting you on game. He's kind of like talking about his homies. He's talking about like what he wouldn't do. You won't catch him in that. You just gotta pay attention, man. He's an all around artist, and I really respect Kodak Black 100%. And one day, hopefully, we get to connect and make music on a different level. You know what I'm saying?
So,
And the breaking side, I would say someone that's alive that I wish I could break with would be, I would say B-Boy Lee. B-Boy Lee is very unique with his style. And I would say Flea Rock, but I already break with him. I would say my uncle, I already break with him. So the person I haven't break with will be probably B-Boy Lee. He's from Amsterdam. He's part of the
mhm.
Ruckus crew. And so Amsterdam is, for those that don't know, is in Europe. And basically, bro, he represents like very unique style, very like the way just by the way he dresses, just by the way he carries himself. It's like, yo, that's a fly nigga, bro. Pause.
Yeah,
You know what
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
saying? Like he's hip hop, nigga. Like he's fresh, he's unique, he got style, he got flavor. Like I look up to him as somebody that he inspires me to want to break dance and create my movements
Icon.
and do what I do. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
The movies Beach Street and Breaking. Have you seen those? I want to make sure.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Of course. Rock City
Okay.
Crew, New York City Breakers, and Beach.
I want to make sure that if you could give yourself at 13 one piece of advice, what would it be?
At 13, I would say, uh, what are you doing wasting time, my brother? Get back into your elements. You feel me?
Mm,
Like, get back into the music, get back into the breaking right now because it's going to benefit you when you get older. You know what I'm saying? Because if I would have made the decision I made at 23, at 13, I'll probably be so much more ahead in both of the games, in the music and in the breaking. You know what
right,
I'm saying? Instead of just like kind of like just trying to fit in and do what everybody else is doing and trying to act cool and you know, like, even though I really was never really that kid that fit in, you know,
right.
but it was kind of like I wasn't really, I just kind of lost who I was as a person. I didn't realize what I had. I didn't realize and appreciate what I was given and what I was introduced to at a young age. So it's like I'm glad that I woke up, you know, eventually, but it took a long time.
At the same time, though, and I never ask this question for people to have the shoulda or coulda, but I always want to know what they would, because at the same time, everything does happen for a reason, and we have to go through the things we go through in order to appreciate it. Because maybe you would have been doing more, but would you have maybe appreciated it as much as the way you do now? You see what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
exactly. So it's like you gotta just flow with the energy, man. Wherever it takes you, just go with it. You know, I feel like,
That's
and at
it.
the same time too, I don't regret anything I went to because at the end of the day, it made me a stronger individual and it made me realize that that's not something I needed in my life anyway. Sometimes you got to
Oh
go
yeah,
through things to take it to the next level.
oh yeah. Ali, I gotta say, I didn't know what I was getting into when I get to these interviews. I did my homework and I listened to your music, and I did see a major growth from you, from who you were to now. And I want to congratulate you and applaud you for that. I want to give you the respect and love that you deserve because um, you've you evolved into a greater version of yourself, and you still have this mentality, and you still walk with a mentality that you've grown to a better version of yourself, but you still have room to even become better. So I want to salute you, and if people, I'm not saying that you do it for the accolades, but I know if it's good to hear from somebody that doesn't know you from a hole in the wall. And I want to tell you that you're doing amazing as a young man, and you're doing amazing for yourself and just in general, brother.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it, bro. And it's kind of like a never-ending journey. At the end of the day, like I feel like I'll never be. As human beings, I guess we're never really satisfied with
Right,
anything. You know, we always want more. And
right,
the only thing I can really say that I want to accomplish in this life is I want people to remember me as somebody that always did what he loved and always tried to be the best version of himself as could be, and at the same time was just wanting to be true to who he was and never let nothing affect that. And I want people to try to aspire to be the best versions of themselves they could be and live life in a positive way and do positive things and uplift each other and help those around them to find that person. If they can't see it for themselves, at least try to help them find that. Like I have a homie of mine, his name is Black, and he's one of my best friends. And we grew up together since kids. And the other day he was gonna go out, and I was like, "Yo, brother, like, I love you, my nigga, and I'm gonna tell you something that probably a lot of people won't tell you. You know what I'm saying? Or I know you'll listen to me if I tell you because you know that I'm telling you it from the heart." And I was like, "Yo, bro, I know you want to go out because I know you're stressed out. You're working a lot and you feel like you don't really have a social life and you're constantly like you're stuck in the same position. But I want you to know that you going out and putting yourself in around these people and drinking and doing all that is not going to benefit you. It's not going to change anything. So I need you to get serious about you. I need you to start focusing on the things that we talked about, like reading these business books and listening to podcasts about how to grow yourself as a person and make your and start your own business and doing things that are going to elevate you instead of keep going back to the same things that are going to keep you at the same level. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
It's like, and I feel like it hit him like in that moment. I feel like I had to tell him that, and I was like, yo, bro, like if you go out tonight, I respect it. You feel me? I know you want to have a good time and all that. And then he's like, nah, bro. You know what, bro? After hearing what you just told me, he's like, I'm just gonna stay in, bro. You're right, bro. Like I'm really not gaining anything out of doing that. And I was
Yes,
like, yeah,
sir.
bro. Like, I want to see you move forward, brother. Like I want to see you move forward. I want to see myself move forward. I want to see all my brothers I grew up with and everybody around me move. For anybody in life. I want everybody to be able to progress, bro. And sometimes you need that push from somebody that's close to you or around you to tell you, like, yo, bro, wake up, man. Like, let's get it. Like, why are you waiting, bro? Because life, it doesn't stop. It keeps going. And
Gotcha.
next thing you know, you're gonna feel like you're behind. And at the same time, it's not even about feeling behind. It's just knowing that you have to focus on your journey, and you're gonna get to where you're gonna get to, little by little, by putting in that daily effort. You know what I'm saying? You can't do good and then the next day, oh yeah, I did good today, but tomorrow I'm gonna go back to the same thing I just did yesterday. I mean, the other week. You know what I'm saying? It's like it didn't work like that. You got to try to stay consistent and disciplined, and sometimes you need that extra push from somebody else.
Consistent discipline and living truth,
Mm-hmm.
bro. Right. Where can the people find you, your music, your breaking videos, all that good stuff?
Uh, my Instagram is obviously Alain to Wavy, the one that we're on the live right now with.
Hmm.
Basically, my YouTube channel and all that stuff is in the bio. I have a link to my YouTube, my Twitter, my TikTok, and all that stuff. You know, if you want to connect with me. Also, if you just go to Google and you type in Alain to Wavy, actually the first person that pops up, you'll see everything that has to do with me, which I'm pretty proud of. You know, I'm like the only one, uh, the only Alain to Wavy there is, I
Easy,
guess.
easy
You know?
to search.
Yeah, like I type in other names sometimes and I'm like, dang, I can't find them. But for some reason, I got blessed, and you put in Alain to Wavy, and I'm there, right there. Um,
Oh yeah.
and you know, also a side note, I also had got my real estate license in February.
Congrats.
So that's another thing. If you guys need any, real estate services, buying, selling, renting, whatever it could be, or you just want to know, yo, what do I need to know? Like if I want to buy my first house, or what are the steps I got to take to get into the momentum of getting my first house? Like what are the things I need to know? What do I got to work on, or what do I got to do? Just hit me up, man. I mean, I'm new in the game, but at the same time, any questions you ask me, I could get you the answer. You know what I'm saying? It's not as hard as a lot of people think, and that's something that I'm gonna take. It's my new journey, my new task, my new what do you say? My new
Challenge.
obstacle in life.
Right, right. Hell yeah. Hell
And I
yeah.
also got
Um,
into it to fund my music career. I look up to Nipsey Hussle as one of my favorite artists because he's a very entrepreneurial artist. He talks about how making it and continuing the marathon and and doing what you got to do to get to the next level and properties and owning stuff and I look up to him in that way. He actually was one of the main reasons, besides my uncle, that got his real estate license as well. Was somebody I look up to, like, damn, bro, he does real estate and he's an artist. I want to do the same thing.
why
Like he
not? Yeah.
he didn't have his license, to the real estate to fund his music career because I want to get to the next level. And the only way I can see right now that's going to make me some good money to be able to have these nice music videos with the nice cars and clothes and all that, to get the image out so people can actually want to hear me. It's most of the time because that's what people look for is doing that, man. And I'm excited for the new journey.
Definitely. Well, congratulations and all that. I do want to get an in studio interview one time. But keep up the good work. If you need any kind of help, promo, any kind of anything, hit me up, bro.
Yes, sir.
I'm always down to, I've been doing this for 7, 8 years already. So any information you need, just hit me up, bro. Keep doing your thing. This is my guy, Alan to Wavy. I'm gonna make sure I promote more of his music, more of his thing, because you are an inspirational young man, my brother.
Thank you, my bro. And hey, listen, man, if you need any some vegetarian meals or something, holla at me, because I also have
Hey,
a
you know what? You should meet me up in the gym one morning, bro. We meet up and do some workout.
facts. I'm down. Whatchamacallit, I was gonna say, I also have this page called The Real Vegan 305. So that's another
I'm gonna
little
check it out.
page. And there's another page, Acro Break USA, which is my breakdancing company for weekend parties and shows like that. And then I also have one more page, which is called Mr. Karate 305, which I demonstrate how to do martial art techniques, breaking them down, and step-by-step process of how to do them. So,
Send me
yeah.
all of that. Send me all that, because I'm gonna promote all that, bro.
Thank
I
you,
got
man.
you. You got my word. And I say shit on camera so people can go back and say he said he was gonna do this, but he didn't do it. So I'm saying on camera. Send me all that, because we're gonna promote all
I
that.
got you, man. Thank you, bro.
All right,
Thank
my
you
brother.
for having this podcast too, bro, because it's good for people to know who the community is and what are people doing, and I hope I can inspire anybody that watches this video, and I hope that you guys can get inspired by Litty Productions as well, because it's not easy to do things that nobody's paying you for, and like, well, I'm pretty sure you make your own money doing stuff on the side too, but I'm saying, like, doing what you love and not really making it like to the top right away. It takes dedication, and salute to you for giving us a platform where we're able to express and talk about ourselves, and people could get to know me, man. I appreciate that.
For sure,
And
for
shout
sure.
out to
Have a
Jay.
good night,
Shout out to
brother.
my boy Jay,
Yeah.
because Jay's
Oh,
the one
yeah.
that put
Shout
me
out to
on.
Jay. Jay's the one that put you on. That's a fact.
Hey,
Gotta
that's
make
a
sure
real.
you shout
Hey,
out Jay.
bro, Jay's another person that I want to give a big salute to, because, bro, that guy has a huge heart, man. That's a really great individual, bro. That guy is somebody that I hope a lot of people could be like him. Like, man, he has a huge heart, and he's very giving, and he has a family, and he has a lot of stuff on his plate, and somehow he still finds a way to give back. So big shout out to Jay for putting me on to you, and for all the love he shows me and support. I appreciate that.
We got to keep it going. We're going to keep that going too, though. Mark my words, we're going to keep that going so we can influence other people to do the same. So, we get this movement of just everybody trying to help each other. Not always so much about paying, but, looking out for each other so we can grow and make everything happen for each other. You
Yes, sir.
dig me?
Yes, sir.
All right, my brother. Have a good night. Thank you for everything.